scheduled to open this year, the World of Color Nighttime Water Spectacular. Trust me, you'll have to see it to believe it.
At Disney, we love to create never-been-seen-before entertainment, and we're going to do that here on Paradise Bay. Just like Walt did with the early attractions at Disneyland, we're going to do that with World of Color.
The technical side of the show is so cool. It has the world's biggest water projection screen at nearly 400 feet wide and 50 feet high, nearly 30 high-definition projectors, fountains that shoot higher than Mickey's Fun Wheel, and a full acre of fountains, lasers, flame projections, and other amazing special effects.
Carousel of color, wonderful, a rainbow of imagination, a blue rolling stream, a red summer rose, a sunset in the sky. Beauty untold is ours to behold, to dazzle your mind and yours.
World of Color is a way for us to tell classic Disney and Pixar stories in a whole new way. To do that, we're combining state-of-the-art technology and wonderful Disney artistry.
Given how huge the show is, I was amazed to find out that behind some of the magic are delicate paper sculptures.
The characters are really wonderful. The designs are really beautiful to begin with. When I have the design in front of me, I try to think about different techniques with paper I can use. I don't create these models in the computer. I like to work with physical materials in front of me and explore that way. And I think there's a charm to the limitations. The way these puppets are animated, sometimes it kind of reminds you of marionettes because they all have anchor points that move.
The way that we approached it technically was no different than you would do a traditional stop-motion animation where you're literally animating each frame by moving the parts one frame at a time. And we did the same technique in the computer, which can help give it a very handmade feel.
World of Color is really almost like a Disney tradition where we go out and find marvelous new artists and we start to mix all sorts of mediums together. And that's really important with World of Color when we have water and lights and sound and now all sorts of new animation, and they all have to blend together seamlessly.
In addition to all the visual artistry in World of Color, the show's sound system and soundtrack are gonna blow you away.
We really decided early on that the music track and the orchestral recording was going to be as big as we could make it. We've taken almost a year developing the score, and we have just returned from London recording an incredible orchestra of almost 100 players that is just stunning.
One thing I've learned from my friends here at Disney, when they create new entertainment, they pull out all the stops. When Walt Disney brought the best of family entertainment to television in 1961, he called it Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. And when World of Color opens, it's going to keep that tradition going. It combines the creative elements Disney is famous for, awesome visuals, classic music, and the kind of powerful emotional stories we've all come to know and love.
kind of idea behind World of Color was to bring a new nighttime spectacular to Disney's California Adventure. We've tied it back to Walt Disney and the original television show, The Wonderful World of Color. So we're actually going to bring the whole lagoon to life. It's a journey that will take you everywhere from the forest of Pocahontas. You're going to go surfing with Crush to the magical sorcerer's hat that brings up silly symphonies. This is going to be the must-see entertainment. It's going to wow guests. It's going to fill them with emotions that Disney can really do.
For World of Color, it's this amazing tour through the best of Disney and Pixar animations. And so it started with brainstorming with Steve Davison about what are those moments? How do you take these 70 years of Disney and Pixar animation and create those perfect little memories that people want to go back to? One of the things that John Lasseter really pushed early on was to make sure that we're using the water as personality. It's not just movement. The water itself are characters, and in fact there are moments when we hand off from our animation to the water, so the characters that we're revisiting are actually come to life in lots of different ways. We selected these iconic moments from all of our different films. Buzz and Woody meeting for the very first time in Andy's room, and Wally and Eve sharing a kiss for the first time, and getting the animators who originally created them to bring them to life, with Brett Coderre, who animated Dory speaking whale in Finding Nemo, and he's now helping to bring that moment to life here for World of Color. We've brought back our favorite friends like Heimlich from A Bug's Life, and it's always fun because these are like old friends that we get to spend time with.
When I first heard about the World of Color from Roger, he just explained that they wanted to use a couple of clips that I did on Nemo, and it was definitely a joy for me to bring those guys back to life. The animation in the movie, you'd see that there were actually 2 shots. And so those shots that I originally did, we tried to keep as much as we could in the film, but then they added 30 seconds more, which is a lot in animation.
One of the challenging things about bringing Heimlich in for the World of Color show is he hasn't been touched for almost a decade. So when we went to bring him back to life, he was completely not compatible with our current system. And so really we had to rebuild him almost completely from scratch. The only thing that we could really save from before was just his outer shell, and everything else has been completely redone. I love Heimlich, I really do. And animating him, for me, he was one of my favorite characters from A Bug's Life, and to be able to animate him was really quite fun. I love the films we do, and I love the fact that our characters are getting in the park and families are able to see and interact with them, and this is just a great way to make that happen.
Well, I think when people see the World of Color, it will bring back, for the older generation like me, it'll bring back a lot of nostalgia.
This isn't just a funny show or just a spectacle. It's a show that really has an emotional thread through the entire thing. I think people are going to be surprised by the amount of laughter and even some of the tears that they're going to have.